Hi everybody, it's Tasso. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses. That's no big news. And my advice to people has always been to focus on the strengths and ignore the weaknesses. And the reason why I say this is because I truly believe that we all are equipped with a certain set of skills and abilities that if we would build on those, they would give us a competitive edge, rather than working on weaknesses, on eliminating weaknesses, which would at best get you at par, at the same level with other people. And so it would keep you at mediocrity rather than pushing you to excellence. I believe that those people who made it, that they identified and focused on the one thing that really, really good at. So far so good, and that's still my opinion. But as things are not always black and white, I wanted to fine-tune this advice because, as always, it depends. And it depends what you call a weakness. To give you an example, clearly, if I would ask you to compete with a fish underwater, you would suck at it, because not only you cannot breathe underwater, even if I gave you all the equipment and all the, the suit of a diver, you would still suck at it because you're not as agile underwater as a fish. It's not your environment, it's not your nature. Okay? So that's not the kind of weakness that I'm talking about. This is, again, going against your nature, and sometimes in other areas against your personality. But in many, many cases, the weaknesses we talk about are excuses. And this is what I would like you to pay attention to. This is what I would like you to watch out for and observe for yourself. And here's what I mean by that. When we want to succeed at something, in fact, at anything, there's always multiple things we need to look at. And there's always various areas we need to tackle. It's always like this. So if you want to lose weight, for instance, or if you want to maintain your weight, or if you want to live a healthy lifestyle for that matter, you need to look at your sleep, you need to look at exercising, you need to look at nutrition. So you might do a hell of a workout every single day and get a 7 to 8 hour rest every single night, but you might be sabotaging yourself on the nutrition bit. That's exactly what happens to me. I work out a lot. I try to get a lot of sleep every single night, but I just love so much the cakes of my wife, and I really screw up all the effort I put in with the exercising because I fail at the nutrition area. Well, let's take an example at work. You might be a maniac at work and put every day 10 to 12 hours at work in, but then you ignore the other area besides your personal performance, which is your stakeholder management, meaning that you did not identify those people who should be informed about what you do, who should be consulted about what you do. There are many other examples, but I think you get the point, right? The point is that from all the areas that can be and should be done in order to successfully tackle a particular topic, you ignore one or some. And the reason can be that you either don't know about it, or the reason can be that you avoid them. And this can happen consciously or subconsciously. You avoid them because they scare you, because they are out of your comfort zone, because you have all the negative self-talk and all the doubts within your mind that keep you from doing this. Now, in the first case, when it is that you don't know about them, it's very simple. The solution is easy. You consult those people you trust, your colleagues, your friends, about, to help you understand what your blind spots are. Blind spots in a sense that these are areas you are not aware of. In the second case, when it is about you avoiding them because of some self-limiting beliefs, I think you need to go through 3 steps. Step number 1 would be to truly sit down and create an overall picture of all the things that need to be done. And I mean here a really honest inventory about everything, irrespective whether you believe you can do it. Just put it on paper. Don't worry about it. Step number 2 is you look at it and you identify those things on that list that actually fall into the second category, which is that you don't feel comfortable about them. And you dig a little bit deeper. This can be alone by asking yourself and questioning. This can be with the help of a coach, the help of a friend. But you need to dig deeper and understand what really the problem is. Is it, for instance, in the case of nutrition, that you believe it's not good to throw away food, so you eat everything? Or is it about the respect for the person who prepared the food, that you don't want to disappoint them and then you eat everything? Or in the case of the stakeholder management at work, is it that you are afraid to approach higher level senior people? Is it that you are afraid of rejection? You know, what is it really that holds you back? And what is it really the limiting belief, the negative and false belief that you have about this? At step number 3 is, once you know what the problem is, you need to replace those negative thoughts with positive thoughts and empowering thoughts, and you need to replace the harming habits and behaviors with enabling behaviors. So I know this sounds a little bit generic, but this is how it is. And I'm going to give you the examples on these 2 points that we discussed, the nutrition bit and the stakeholder management pieces work. So in the first case, for instance, if you find yourself not tracking what you eat, something that could help is that you use a spreadsheet or an application on your smartphone to actually help you track what you eat. Yeah? Depending really on what the underlying belief was and what you identify. The problem is, you might, for instance, find yourself in need to put something a little bit more away to make the access to this particular thing more difficult. Or if you find out that you need some rewards on punishment, maybe this is the solution for you. On the second area, which is about the workspace and the work environment, it could be that if you find yourself finding difficulties in approaching higher level senior people, you can make it a 30-day challenge and say, for the next 30 days, I'm gonna approach somebody above my level and discuss what I'm doing with them. Or if the underlying belief is that you don't have the direct link, then have somebody introduce you to that person. Or if you feel rejection, you maybe have to just go for it and prove to yourself that it is not as bad as you thought it would be, that the person actually did not reject you. You have to dissociate the rejection from your person and maybe just acknowledge that the person might not have only had time that particular day. Because most of the times our fears and worries are based on anticipation and assumptions about the future, which rarely have anything to do with reality. So very often what it takes really is to do it and prove to yourself and prove to your mind that it is not exactly how you thought it could be, that actually the worst case didn't turn out to come true, and actually it's less scary than you thought it would be. So don't let small excuses, holding you back from such a big progress you could make if you would tackle everything. Don't allow this. And understand what you're missing. Understand what is the underlying belief, and then grab it by the horns. I know you can do this. This is as easy as it sounds. I hope this helped you. I hope this gave you some ideas where to look at when you feel you don't make as much progress as you should be. You might be sabotaging yourself. And you know what? These are the weaknesses that actually you can and you should tackle, because they are holding you back and because they are blocking you on your strengths. So if you liked it, please subscribe for more. And until the next blog post, all the best.